State prosecutors will get to argue that appeals from the only woman on Louisiana's death row came too late. That's according to a new rule from the Louisiana Supreme Court. Former New Orleans police officer Antoinette Frank was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death nearly 31 years ago. Frank and her accomplice, Rogers Lacaze, were convicted of murdering her fellow NOPD officer, Roger Williams, and 2 workers at a Vietnamese restaurant in New Orleans East. Frank has filed over 18 claims of relief since that conviction. Nearly a year ago, state prosecutors raised several arguments against the timing of these claims, but a judge denied a hearing on the state's objections. The high court, though, unanimously overturning that ruling, saying the district judge had abused her discretion. According to court records, the new hearing has not yet been scheduled.